Okay, so it's been a minute. Here we are back out in the woods and just enjoying this beautiful weather. Man, it's nice out here. Hope you guys are doing great. So, I do these videos because I want to make sure that my kids and my grandkids will get to see some of this information down the line if possible. If something happens to me or I don't actually get to tell them the things on these videos, so I make these videos for them. And if it can help some of you guys, that's great. I appreciate you guys watching. But really, these videos are made for the future. And when people kind of have time to sit down and listen and talk, and right now everybody's busy. My kids are all in school, college, and busy with their families and things like that. And I got to teach them quite a bit of stuff as we were going along, but I think sometimes they forget, and I think sometimes it goes one in one ear and out the other. Like somebody said, put your hand over this ear. All right, that way I know it just goes in this ear and it stays. But anyway, what I want to do right now is just talk about a few things that I would like for them to remember in their future, and maybe it'll help you guys out too. So today I want to talk about giving versus investment. So when you give something to someone, you give it without any return, without expectation of anything or any return. And when you invest, you basically give expecting something in return. Good example is, so you give money to a friend, and you're hoping that one day he'll turn around and help you in return, or maybe he'll get rich one day and then give you something back or whatever. Or let's say you give a piece of land to a relative and hoping that forevermore that they'll be indebted to you. So that's called an investment. That's not giving. Giving is when you just give anonymous. You don't tell anybody. You don't remind them every week that you gave something to them, and you just give, and you let your reward come back a different way. In the Bible, God talks about the only thing you're supposed to test him on, and that is giving. And that's a pretty big one, because if you give, if you give and don't tell anyone, and you keep it anonymous, only between you and the giver, and sometimes just between you. Sometimes you can give by, putting money in an envelope and just leaving it somewhere for someone to get, and they'll never know that you gave them. And I know that that doesn't help you right now, but God will come back and reward you in private. And I've seen this many, many times in my life, to give to someone. And, I'm not a very good giver, honestly, because I give and I want them to know I gave. I want them to know that it was me. I want them to know that I was there for them and all this stuff. But honestly, if you give without letting them know that, then one day, you get a check in the mail for something that you didn't expect. I mean, I've seen it many times where like I'd give and not tell anybody, and it wouldn't be like 2 or 3 weeks later, I'd get a check in the mail for $1,000, and I'd be like, what in the heck is this for? And it'd be like, oh, it's an overpayment you made years ago, or some crazy thing like that. And I'd be like, wow. And then it hit me immediately, this is for that giving I did. So that was my message today. I just want you guys to think about it, and I want you guys to just consider the difference between giving and investment, and know that before you go out and just give and tell everybody, I'm Santa Claus and I'm the great person, and I'm just going to give, and look at me giving, look at my big donation to this charity or that charity, because at that particular moment you have your reward, and it may not be as good a reward as you could have had by just giving anonymously. Okay? All right, go out and make your space better.